You're here because quitting smoking feels impossible even though you want to stop. You know the health risks, the cost, and the control cigarettes have over you. Maybe you've tried to quit before, using willpower, patches, or gum, only to relapse. Each failed attempt makes you feel weaker, like you're the problem. But your struggle isn't about weakness or lack of desire. The real issue? Most methods focus on nicotine withdrawal, not the real trap. They make quitting feel like a sacrifice, fueling your sense of deprivation. This guide offers a new perspective. Quitting doesn't have to be hard or miserable. We'll break down the illusion of smoking, so you can walk away easily. Freedom from smoking can be enjoyable. Starting now. What's different about this method? You're not giving anything up. Smoking's benefits are illusions created by addiction. The cigarette causes the discomfort, then gets credit for relieving it. Imagine wearing tight shoes. Removing them feels good, but only because of the pain. This approach removes the desire to smoke, so willpower isn't needed. When you don't want to smoke, quitting is effortless. The goal isn't just to stop, but to become a happy non-smoker. You won't envy smokers or feel deprived. You'll enjoy life more, handle stress better, and feel free. This is possible for every smoker, no matter your history. Before we start, keep an open mind even if what you hear challenges your beliefs. Don't try to quit yet, keep smoking as you read. This removes pressure and lets you focus on understanding. Think of this as solving a puzzle, not fighting a battle. We'll explore nicotine's role, the psychological traps, and the myths that keep you hooked. Every reason you think you have for smoking is actually a reason to quit. Your only job is to stay curious and keep reading. There are no sacrifices or misery ahead, just the end of an illusion. The biggest obstacle is fear of quitting, not addiction itself. We'll remove that fear and show you how much better life can be. Meet your real enemy, nicotine, the little monster. Nicotine acts fast, but its withdrawal is mild, a slight emptiness or restlessness. Most smokers never notice this feeling, just the urge to smoke. Smoking doesn't give pleasure, it only relieves the discomfort caused by the last cigarette. Non-smokers don't have this agitation, they're already at peace. Each cigarette perpetuates the craving, not satisfaction. It's like wearing tight shoes just to enjoy taking them off. The little monster's physical grip is weak. We handle worse discomforts daily without panic. The real challenge is the psychological trap, not the physical addiction. The real trap is psychological, the big monster. Decades of brainwashing link smoking to pleasure, relaxation, and confidence. Movies, ads, and your own habits reinforce these myths. You believe cigarettes help with stress, boredom, and socializing. The big monster convinces you smoking is your friend and crutch. Logic says otherwise, but emotion and habit keep you hooked. The biggest fear isn't smoking, it's quitting and feeling deprived. This fear is the main barrier to freedom. The easy way method dismantles these myths and removes the fear. You'll see smoking for what it is, an elaborate illusion. Willpower, the most common method for quitting, is almost designed to fail. It asks you to stop while believing you're making a huge sacrifice, starting with a mindset of doom and gloom. You spend every moment fighting the urge, in a constant state of conflict. This internal battle is mentally exhausting. The big monster whispers, tempting you with relief. Constant temptation wears you down until your resolve breaks. The cigarette tastes precious, reinforcing the brainwashing that you cannot live without it. You conclude that you failed, solidifying the idea that you are a hopeless addict. The fundamental flaw is focusing on not smoking, leaving the brainwashing intact. The goal of the easy way is to eliminate the desire to smoke, removing the need for willpower, making quitting a welcome escape. The genius of the smoking trap lies in how the little monster and the big monster work together. Neither is strong enough alone to keep you hooked. The physical withdrawal is mild, you'd barely notice it without the brainwashing. The big monster needs the little monster to create a physical sensation that it can then misinterpret. The little monster creates the feeling of nicotine withdrawal, the trigger for the big monster to tell you stories. This cycle repeats, reinforcing the illusion with every cigarette. Understanding this interplay is the first step toward freedom. By seeing how the two monsters collaborate, we can devise a strategy to defeat them. One of the most powerful myths about smoking is that it helps you cope with stress. From a tough day to a heated argument, the first thing a smoker reaches for in a crisis is a cigarette, believing it calms nerves. But smoking doesn't relieve stress. It's a primary cause. The nicotine withdrawal is a constant, low-level stress. Non-smokers manage stress without needing to inhale fumes. They are better equipped because their bodies aren't burdened by addiction. Smoking is a crutch for a problem it creates, a cruel illusion. When you quit, you remove these stressors and find life significantly calmer. Let's examine the myth that smoking provides genuine pleasure and relaxation. Is the pleasure from the cigarette or relief from craving? It's the satisfaction of feeding an addiction. Consider the cigarette after a meal. The craving builds, and lighting up brings immense relief. A non-smoker feels content without it. They are already relaxed. You're not relaxed because you smoke. You can't relax until you've smoked. Smokers on vacation can't relax without a cigarette. The cigarette gets credit, but it was preventing relaxation. Smoking silences the unease it creates. Many cigarettes are automatic, without enjoyment. They don't provide pleasure. You smoke to feed the addiction. Smokers often believe cigarettes help with both intense concentration and mind-numbing boredom. How can one drug provide contradictory benefits? It doesn't. This belief is an illusion. Nicotine withdrawal is a distraction. Lighting up silences the craving, removing the distraction it created. Smoking doesn't relieve boredom. It's a repetitive activity. Smoking progressively destroys your ability to concentrate. Quitting improves concentration. You'll handle boredom better, finding genuine interest to fill your time. Smoking is an obstacle to both concentration and handling boredom. For many, smoking is deeply intertwined with their social lives. It feels like a social tool. This is one of the most insidious aspects of the big monster's brainwashing. Let's dismantle this myth. The confidence you think you get from a cigarette is a complete illusion. True confidence comes from within. The other side of this coin is the idea that smoking is just a habit. Because smoking is not a habit, it is a drug addiction. By framing it as a habit, you are trivializing the trap, which makes it harder to escape. Recognizing that you are dealing with a drug addiction, not a mere habit, is essential. It is the first step toward understanding the true nature of your enemy, and finally, defeating it. We now arrive at the very heart of the easy way, the single most important principle that makes this method so profoundly different. It is a shift in perspective so fundamental that once you truly grasp it, the entire structure of the smoking trap collapses. The principle is this. When you quit smoking, you are not making a sacrifice, you're not giving anything up, you're not losing a friend, a crutch, or a pleasure. You're getting rid of a terrible disease and escaping from a dark, suffocating prison. Every single reason you think you have for smoking is an illusion. A lie whispered to you by the addiction to keep itself alive. We have systematically dismantled the myths of stress relief, pleasure, concentration, and social confidence. Smoking does not provide these things, it creates the very problems it then gets credit for, temporarily relieving. It is like being forced to wear tight shoes all day just to experience the pleasure of taking them off. Would you call taking the shoes off a sacrifice? Of course not, it is a joyful release. Quitting smoking is exactly the same. You are getting rid of the pain of wearing them in the first place, forever. This mindset is the absolute opposite of the willpower method. The willpower method starts with the premise that you are giving up something valuable and that you must endure a period of suffering and deprivation. This creates a mental conflict where you are constantly fighting your own desires. The easy way, by contrast, removes the desire itself. It helps you see the cigarette for what it truly is, a dose of poison. Once you see the truth, you will not want it anymore. There is no sense of loss, only immense relief and empowerment. Your journey to freedom begins with embracing this core idea. I am not giving anything up. I am losing nothing and gaining everything. I am escaping a trap. This is the objective truth. You are ridding yourself of a dependency that has controlled you, drained your health, emptied your wallet, and eroded your confidence for years. The only thing you are giving up is a lifetime of misery, disease, and slavery. When you frame it this way, quitting becomes the exciting, liberating act it is meant to be. The biggest obstacle that keeps a smoker trapped is fear of life without cigarettes. The easy way is designed to remove these fears before you even smoke your final cigarette. The goal is to make you see that there is absolutely nothing to fear. The only thing to fear is continuing to smoke. The moment you extinguish your final cigarette is not a moment of sadness or loss, it is a moment of celebration. You will promise yourself that once you put out that last cigarette, you will never, ever smoke another one, no matter what happens. You are not trying to quit, you are quitting. And as you put it out, you will feel a profound sense of elation. You are free. Once you've smoked your final cigarette, the process of starving the little monster begins. This is physical withdrawal from nicotine. Welcome it. Every pang is a sign the monster is dying. It's a positive sign of healing. The physical withdrawal is incredibly mild. Most mistake it for hunger or restlessness. The little monster has no teeth. Say to yourself, this is great, this is the feeling of the monster dying, I am winning. The peak happens within the first 3 days. After 72 hours, your body is nicotine-free. The little monster is dead. Any craving after this is psychological. Don't use substitutes. Accept the feeling and celebrate it. Drink water. Go about your normal life. With the little monster dead and buried after a few days, your sole focus becomes demolishing the big monster, the lifetime of psychological conditioning. This is the brainwashing that links smoking to every aspect of your life. The big monster will not die as quickly as the little one. It will try to trick you by creating trigger situations. You will finish a meal, and a thought will pop into your head. A cigarette would be nice now. This is not a physical craving. It is a conditioned response, a ghost of the old habit. Your job is to recognize these thoughts for what they are and consciously reject them. The way to defeat the big monster is to reverse the brainwashing. Every time a trigger occurs, you must see it as an opportunity to re-educate your subconscious mind. When you have a coffee and the thought of a cigarette appears, do not feel deprived. Instead, feel a sense of joy and relief. Say to yourself, isn't it wonderful? I can enjoy this coffee without having to choke myself with poison. Or if you feel stressed, think, isn't it great that I can handle this stress now with a clear head, without making it worse by jacking up my heart rate with nicotine? Each time you do this, you weaken the old association and build a new positive one. It is absolutely critical during this period that you do not try to avoid situations where you used to smoke. Do not turn down invitations to parties or avoid your coffee break at work. This is a common mistake made by those using the willpower method. They hide from temptation, which only reinforces the belief that they are making a sacrifice. You must do the opposite. Seek out these situations and prove to yourself that you can enjoy them even more as a non-smoker. Go to the pub, have a drink, and feel the freedom of not needing to stand outside in the cold. Enjoy a meal and savor the taste without ruining it with a foul cigarette afterward. This process of rewiring your brain is the most enjoyable part of quitting. It is a series of small victories that build on each other. Each time you successfully navigate a trigger situation without smoking and without feeling deprived, your confidence soars. You are actively unbrainwashing yourself. You are reclaiming your life, one moment at a time. You will soon realize that the pleasure was never in the cigarette. It was in the event itself. The cigarette was just a noisy, smelly, and dangerous distraction that you are now wonderfully free from. This is how you kill the big monster for good. Alright, let's distill the entire method into a set of clear, simple instructions. Following these is not a chore. It is your roadmap out of the maze. The beauty of the easy way lies in its simplicity. There are no complex rules or difficult regimens to follow. It is all about understanding the trap and making a conscious, informed decision to step out of it. These instructions are your guideposts to ensure you stay on the path to becoming a happy non-smoker, free from the desire to ever smoke again for the rest of your life. They provide clarity and remove any ambiguity from the process. First, make a final decision. Understand that you are not trying to quit. You are quitting. Make a solemn vow to yourself that you will never smoke, chew, or vape anything containing nicotine again. This decision is based on the knowledge that you are not giving anything up, but are escaping a trap. Second, do not doubt your decision. Once you have put out your final cigarette, do not sit around waiting for something to happen or moping about your loss. Get on with your life immediately and enjoy it. Remember that you have lost nothing and have gained a world of positives, including better health, more money, and true freedom. Third, do not use any substitutes. Nicotine patches, gums, lozenges, or e-cigarettes all keep the addiction alive. They send your brain the message that you need nicotine to function, which is the very belief we are trying to destroy. Using substitutes is like telling a heroin addict to switch to a different opiate. It prolongs the agony and makes it harder to kill the little monster. You do not need a substitute for something you do not want or need. Trust that your body can and will heal itself without any crutches. You are strong enough to do this without them. Fourth, and finally, see yourself as a non-smoker from the moment you extinguish your last cigarette. Do not think of yourself as a smoker who is trying to quit. That mindset implies struggle and deprivation. You are a non-smoker, a person who does not smoke, a person who has no desire to smoke. Embrace this new identity. When you feel a pang of withdrawal, remind yourself that this is something non-smokers never feel, and soon you will not either. When you see others smoking, do not envy them, feel pity for them, because they are still stuck in the trap from which you have just escaped. There will come a moment, maybe a few days or even a few weeks after you quit, which I like to call the moment of revelation. Now, it's not going to be some dramatic flash of lightning or anything like that, but rather a quiet, profound realization. It might happen during a stressful situation or at a party or just while you're having your morning coffee. All of a sudden, you'll realize that a significant amount of time has passed, and you haven't once thought about having a cigarette. And then the thought will hit you, wow, I'm free, I've actually done it, and it was easy. This moment is really the final confirmation that both the little and big monsters are truly gone for good. This feeling of revelation, that's what we're aiming for. It's the point where you shift from being a smoker who has simply stopped to being a true, happy non-smoker. There's no longer any debate in your mind. There's no sense of loss, no feeling of deprivation, and certainly no envy of other smokers. In fact, the very idea of lighting a cigarette will seem almost absurd to you. I mean, why would you ever want to go back to that prison? Now you can enjoy every aspect of your life more fully. Food tastes better, your sense of smell is sharper, and you've got more energy and vitality than you've had in years. Achieving this state, it's not about luck or superhuman willpower. It's just the natural outcome of following the method correctly. By understanding that there's nothing to give up, removing the fear, and reversing the brainwashing, you make this outcome inevitable. You haven't fought a battle, you've simply solved a puzzle. You've seen through the illusion and dismantled the con trick. The desire to smoke has been removed at its root, not just suppressed. That's why the easy way has such a high success rate, and why those who use it don't spend the rest of their lives craving cigarettes. From this moment on, your life as a non-smoker is just normal. It's the way life was meant to be lived. You'll handle stress better, enjoy social occasions more, and have a deep sense of calm and confidence that comes from being in control of your own life, instead of being controlled by a drug. The journey is complete. You haven't just stopped smoking, you've been cured. Now, you're free to enjoy the rest of your longer, healthier, wealthier, and happier life. Never doubt this fact, and never be tempted by that one cigarette, because you now know there is no such thing. There's only a lifetime of freedom. So, you've smoked your final cigarette and made the vow. You are officially a non-smoker. Let's walk through the first few days together so you know exactly what to expect on your journey. The first 72 hours are when your body works to purge the last traces of nicotine. You might feel a slight restlessness or an empty sensation in your stomach. It's the undeniable proof that you are winning and the addiction is losing. This is my body healing. During these first few days, drink plenty of water to help your body flush out the toxins more efficiently. Engage in your usual activities. Since you know you're not giving anything up, there's no reason for anger or misery. You're a happy non-smoker who is enjoying the process of their body and mind returning to their natural, healthy state. After the first few days, the physical addiction is gone. The little monster is dead. From this point forward, your journey is all about dismantling the big monster, the psychological brainwashing. This monster will try to ambush you using triggers, the situations you've long associated with smoking, like morning coffee or a drink with friends. Your first encounter with each trigger as a non-smoker is a critical opportunity to re-educate your brain and prove that these situations are more enjoyable without cigarettes. Don't fear these moments, eagerly anticipate them as chances to solidify your freedom. Going out can feel like a major test. You might see others smoking and feel a pull. Observe them. Feel pity, not envy. They're still trapped. The key is to change your perspective from sacrifice to gain. You're the lucky non-smoker who doesn't need one. Every situation becomes a platform to celebrate your freedom. Before you know it, these triggers will cease to exist. As you dismantle the big monster, something wonderful happens. You start noticing incredible benefits. These are real, tangible improvements that reinforce your decision. The benefits cascade into a profound transformation of your health, your finances, your confidence, and your overall quality of life. Paying attention to these changes is a fantastic way to stay motivated. Within hours, your body is already healing. Blood pressure and heart rate start to normalize. Within days, you'll notice improvements in taste and smell. The financial benefits are immediate. Watch that money accumulate. You will feel a surge in self-respect and confidence. You are no longer a slave to addiction. You are in control. This feeling of liberation only gets better with time. Section 4. Staying free. The one simple rule. You have escaped the prison. The final piece is ensuring you stay free. Follow one simple, unbreakable rule. Never take another puff. Not one drag, not one puff, not for any reason, ever. This guarantees your lifelong freedom. The just one cigarette myth is a dangerous lie. It's a fatal trap. There is no such thing as one cigarette for an ex-smoker. Resolve that your decision is final. You are a happy non-smoker, and that is who you will be for the rest of your life. You have escaped a lifetime of slavery, disease, and expense. Why would you ever choose to put the chains back on? You are not recovering, you are cured. The desire is gone. You've reached the end of this guide and the beginning of a new chapter in your life. You now understand the smoking trap and see that smoking offers no genuine benefits. You have not given anything up, you have escaped. This journey was about knowledge and a change in perspective. The fear of quitting has been replaced by the excitement of liberation. You are a happy non-smoker, and you have earned this title. The chains have been broken, and you have walked out into the sunshine. This is your permanent victory. Your future as a happy non-smoker is wonderfully bright, but it is protected by one simple, unshakable principle: never take another puff. The myth of the single, harmless cigarette is the final, desperate lie of the big monster. There is no such thing. For you, as a former addict, one puff is the switch that reactivates the entire mechanism of the trap. It reawakens the little monster and begins the chain of craving all over again. Do not ever be tempted to test your freedom or to believe you can control it now. You have won your freedom by choosing to be completely free, not by learning to manage a life sentence of occasional poison. Your decision is final. Embrace your new identity with absolute conviction. You are not an ex-smoker teetering on the edge of relapse. You are a non-smoker, just like the millions of people who have never smoked a cigarette in their lives. When you see others smoking, feel only a sense of pity for those still caught in the trap, and a quiet sense of gratitude for your own escape. You have no reason to envy them, they have every reason to envy you. Your life is better in every conceivable way without cigarettes. You handle stress more effectively, you enjoy social occasions more fully, and you have a level of health and vitality they can only dream of. The world is full of smokers who desperately wish they could be in your position. You have been given the key to the prison, and you have used it. The most important thing you can do now is enjoy your freedom to the fullest. Breathe deeply and appreciate the clean air filling your lungs. Savor the true taste of your food and drink. Revel in your newfound energy and your growing bank account. Let the joy of being a non-smoker be a constant, positive presence in your life. Finally, remember that you are not alone. Millions of people around the world have successfully quit using this method. You are part of a global community of happy non-smokers who have seen the light. Your journey from the darkness of addiction into the light of freedom is complete. Go forward and live your life to its fullest potential, unburdened by the chains of smoking. You have done it. You are free. Enjoy every single moment.